Happy Moundville Monday, everyone. As Virtual Festival approaches, we're going to take a trip down memory lane with both past and present festival participants. They got a chance to sit down with the beloved Betsy Irwin, the past festival director, to discuss their experience of the Moundville Native American Festival. Let's take a look.
You have been here for virtually every Moundville Native American Festival. You also helped organize, put up, you've done many different tasks at the festival. Tell us a little bit about the beginnings of it and just kind of how it's changed over the years.
Well, I was working at the lab, helping analyze artifacts. And there was beginning to be here little festivals people were wanting to put on to celebrate Native American. And with archaeologists and programs people, they said, you know, we have Moundville. We need to talk about it. School groups come. We need to incorporate this more. And so the beginnings of that idea started to grow. What can we do? How can we do it? How can we set it up? Who can do what? What do we need? You've got to have some help. So the National Guard helped. One of the ladies, Betsy, very artistic, knew other people that she could contact that did types of things like making bows or making spears. And so it started to grow. Other potters that we were aware of who were doing research, oh yeah, I'd be glad to come and demonstrate. So it was small, it was not very big, virtually no money, but for the people who were demonstrating, we had to take care of them. So Betsy would cook something one night, I'd cook something, Dorothy would cook something, and we would have them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and something warm to eat when we started. There was a competition with Columbus, Georgia, who was starting to really grow, and we didn't want to get in on their weekend. We didn't want to bust it, but we would follow them, and so we began to get artisans from there, people who were there from Oklahoma. And so in the early years, this is how we made contacts with them through Butch Fuller, who does living history with us. And he said, I've got someone. So we survived that year, worked real hard, trying to see if there's grants, trying to see what we can do better, how can we enlarge it. A lot of feedback from teachers, and we really worked hard on that, especially with our local teachers. How can we help? What do you want us to do different? Every year we analyzed it. Did this work? No, this is what they're asking for. Well, we can't do that, but we can do this. So it was a big group effort to get this up and going, and if you ever stop, you'll never get it going again. Luckily, we had support using what the museum already had, the Natural History Museum, with expedition equipment and flies, and other festivals that had big tents that we could use and that we could borrow it from them because we were helping them with something in another part of the state. So a lot of organization, you work on it year round. You think about it year round. You really start 2 weeks before the festival. I mean, you got to get it up. You got to get it looking good. You got to get the park looking good. You got to all that infrastructure, and then the day after, you got to start taking it down on that. So for staff, for the committees, for those that are physically doing this, it's an important part. But sometimes that's the unknown part. As it grew, we knew we wanted to do living history for the fourth graders and to interpret what they're in their book. And there was so much misinformation in the beginning that we helped with reorganizing one of the fourth grade books. With the archaeologists, with the paleobotanists, everybody was getting their input into one of the fourth grade books, so that you could take out, nobody in Alabama ever lived in a teepee. They're not here. And other myths and legends to get the history correct. It's got to be correct. So for those of us who do live in history, everything we talk about, we can document. But from the beginning, we wanted to be centered on Southeastern culture.
Thank you for watching, and as always, like and subscribe. For more information about Virtual Festival, please go here.